Hey there guys, Chet here. If you have been sending out certificates manually or are just getting started with digital credentials, this tutorial is going to walk you through everything you need to know about Certifier from scratch. It is one of the most complete credentialing platforms out there right now, trusted by more than 2,000 organizations, including Amazon, Stanford, and Duolingo. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to use it. We're going through the whole platform together today. We will start with a full account and dashboard walkthrough so that you know where everything lives. Then I'll show you how to create and design your design template and credential template, and how to issue credentials in bulk, how the integrations and automations work. And then we'll finish with a complete breakdown of the plans and pricing so that you know exactly what you're paying for and what you can get for free. But before we dive in, a special gift. If you plan to sign up for Certifier, make sure that you use the link in the description of this video. When you sign up through my link, you're going to get an exclusive 10% discount on any paid plan. So make sure to check that link in the description below. Now let's dive into the tutorial. Here we go. Now, once you log in, the first thing you're going to land on is the dashboard page. And I want to take a few minutes to walk you through the full layout before we start doing anything, because understanding where everything lives from the beginning saves you a lot of time. Many people skip this part and then spend the next hour trying to find basic things. So let's just go through it properly right now. Now, the first thing to notice is the very top of the left sidebar. That is where your workspace name lives. In my case, it says Bright Future with a small drop-down arrow next to it. When you click on that workspace name, a drop-down opens up, giving you access to add workspace, account settings, workspace settings, organization settings, invite members, and log out. The workspace system is actually one of the things I really like about Certifier because it means you can manage multiple organizations or programs under a single login. If you're running more than one training program or working with different clients, this is going to be really useful for you. For now, click anywhere outside of the drop-down to close it, and we'll move on. Right below the workspace name, you will see the quick search bar with a Control K shortcut next to it and a help icon on the right. This might seem like a small thing, but once you have a lot of credentials and templates in your account, this search bar becomes one of the most useful things on the page. You can pull up anything across your entire workspace in seconds from right there. Now, the left sidebar is divided into three sections, and this is the part you really want to pay attention to. The three sections are Issue and Track, Graphic Assets, and Workflows. Let me walk you through each one so that you know exactly what lives where. Under Issue and Track, the very first item is Dashboard, which is your home base. Now, you can click it any time to come back to this main view. Below that is Credentials, and when you click it, a submenu expands with two options, Credential Templates and All Credentials. Credential Templates is where you build and manage all of the settings for your credentials, and All Credentials is where you can view and manage everything that has already been issued. We're going to be spending a lot of time in Credential Templates, so just keep that in mind. The next item under Issue and Track is Pathways. This one is available on the Advanced plan, and it lets you build structured learning journeys by linking multiple credentials together in a sequence. After that is Analytics, which is available on the Professional plan and gives you a detailed performance tracking across all of your credential templates. We will talk more about both of these when we get into the pricing section a little later. Under Graphic Assets, you have two items. Design Templates is where you create and manage the visual designs for your certificates and badges. And Email Templates, available on the Professional plan, is where you build and customize the emails that go out to your credential recipients. Under Workflows, you have Integrations and Automations. The Integrations page is honestly one of the most impressive parts of this platform, and we're giving it its own dedicated section later in this tutorial. Automations is where you set up automated credential issuing workflows by connecting Certifier to external apps. Now, at the very bottom of the left sidebar, there are a few more things worth knowing about. The Getting Started section shows your onboarding process, and right now it is sitting at 33% completed. Click on it to expand the checklist and see what setup tasks are still remaining. For a new account, the remaining steps are Add Credential Template and Issue Credentials, which is exactly what we are about to do right now. Just below that is the credential usage indicator showing how many of your annual credentials you've used. On the free starter plan, that reads 0 of 250. And at the very bottom of the sidebar is the upgrade button if you want to move to a paid plan at any time. So that's the full dashboard. The layout is clean. Everything has a logical place. And once you know where things are, you will move through this platform really fast. Now let's get into the actual work and start building your first credential. Before we do anything, I want to explain what a credential template actually is because this is where a lot of beginners get confused. Certifier has two different types of templates and they work very differently from each other. A credential template is the foundation for issuing credentials. It stores all of the details and settings for your credential, including its name, the design it uses, the description, and the advanced options like expiration rules and recipient permissions. Every single time you issue credentials to recipients, you are going to be working from a credential template. Think of it as the complete settings file for a particular credential that you offer. To create one, go to the left sidebar and click Credentials to expand the submenu, then click Credential Templates. On the Credential Templates page, click the Create Credential Template button in the top right corner. Now this takes you to a new page and a pop-up modal will immediately appear explaining what a credential template is. Go ahead and click Got it, thanks. That will close it and you will move forward. You will now land on the Info and Appearance tab. You'll notice there are three tabs at the top of this page: Info and Appearance, Advanced Settings, and Email Settings. Now, here's something important to know right now. The Advanced Settings and Email Settings tabs are locked at this stage. They only become accessible after you save the template for the first time. A lot of beginners try clicking those tabs straight away and get confused when nothing happens. So just know you need to complete and save this first tab before those open up. The first field is name. Type the name of your credential here. For this example, I'm going with Digital Marketing Certification. Keep the name clear and specific because this is what shows up across your credential management area, and you want to be able to find it quickly when you start building multiple templates. Now scroll down to the Appearance section and click the plus Attach Design button. A pop-up modal will appear asking you to select a design to attach to this template. This is where your visual design connects to the credential template. And one thing worth knowing is that a single credential template can include one certificate, one badge, or both at the same time. If you have not created any designs yet, the modal will show a plus Create Design Template button to redirect you. We're going to cover design templates in full detail in the next section of this tutorial, so for now, click the X to close this modal and keep filling in the rest of the form. We'll come back and attach the design once it is ready. Scroll down to the Enhanced Details section, click the Type drop-down and select the credential type. The available options are Achievement, Event, Certification, Conference, Course, Membership, License, and Program. For this example, select Certification. Then click the Level drop-down, which gives you Introductory, Foundational, Intermediate, Advanced, and Professional. Select Intermediate. Then click the Format drop-down and choose between Online, Offline, and Hybrid. So you'll select online. In the duration field, enter a number and then use the drop down beside it to pick your time unit, whether that is hours, days, or weeks. Then click the price drop down and select either free or paid, depending on your program. In the skills field, start typing any relevant skills associated with this credential. This is worth filling in properly, especially for professional certifications, because it adds real value when your recipients share the credential on LinkedIn. Now scroll down to the About section. In the description field, write out what this credential represents. For example, the holder of this credential has successfully completed the Digital Marketing Certification program offered by Bright Future. Then in the Learning Event Link field, enter the URL of your course or event website. The last section on this page is Earning Criteria. Click plus Add Earning Criteria, and a form will expand below with a Type drop-down, a Link field, and a Description field. The Type dropdown gives you test, watching, reading, participation, assignment, and other as options. You can add up to 10 earning criteria in total. Once you fill in the details for each one, click the Add button to save it. If you change your mind, click Cancel to dismiss the form without saving. Once you have everything filled in, click the Create Credential Template button at the bottom of the page or at the top right of the screen. Just make sure you have attached a design first because the Appearance field is required. If you try to save it without it, a validation message will appear below the Appearance section, and the template will not save until you attach at least one design. After saving, both the Advanced Settings and Email Settings tabs will unlock. We mentioned that before. And those are where you configure things like expiration rules, recipient permissions, and email delivery settings for this specific template. Now that your credential template is set up, this is where things start to get really satisfying. We're going to actually issue credentials to real recipients. And I want to show you just how fast this process is once everything is in place. This is the part that used to take me hours when I was doing it manually, and Certifier gets it done in a few minutes. There are two ways to access issue credentials, and I want to show you both so that you know your options. The first way is straight from the dashboard. If you're on the dashboard tab, you will see the plus issue credentials button sitting right at the top right corner of the screen. Just click that and you are in. Now, the second way is through the Credentials tab in the left sidebar. Click on Credentials, and it expands into Credential Templates and All Credentials. Click on All Credentials, and it takes you to a page where you can see all the credentials you have already issued. If you have not issued anything yet, the page will be empty, but you will still find the Plus Issue Credentials button either at the center of the page or at the top right corner. Either one works just fine. I personally like going through the All Credentials page once I've been using the platform for a while because it gives me a quick look at everything I've already sent out before I issue anything new. Go ahead and click the Plus Issue Credentials. Now, if you try this before you have a credential template created, a pop-up modal will appear telling you you have no credential templates yet, and it will ask you to click Create Credential Template before you can continue. But since we just finished creating ours, we're good to go. When you click Plus Issue Credentials, a pop-up modal appears titled Select a Credential Template and Add Recipients. This is where the issuing process begins. You will immediately notice two options for adding your recipients. The first is Add Recipients Manually, which is exactly what it sounds like. You enter recipient details one by one. The second is Upload via Spreadsheet, which lets you import an entire list from a spreadsheet file. For this tutorial, we're going to use the manual option first so that you understand the full flow, but I will tell you right now that for anyone issuing to more than 10 people at a time, the spreadsheet upload is going to become your best friend. Click the Credential Template name drop down and select the template you want to issue from. In our case, that is Digital Marketing Certification. Then check the I have the right to use the personal data of these recipients checkbox to confirm consent. This is a GDPR thing, and it is important rather, so do not skip it. Once that is checked, click the Add Recipients button to move forward. You are now on the first step of the issuing process. At the top of the page, you will see two steps displayed. One, Add Recipients, and two, Preview before issuing. We're starting on step one. Click the plus Add Recipient button, and a blank row will appear in the table with two fields, Recipient Name and Recipient Email. Click into the recipient name field and type the recipient's full name. For this example, I'm going to use Sarah Johnson. Then press Tab to jump over to the recipient email field and type the recipient's email address. I'm using sarah@brightfuture.com. Once you enter a valid email, the status column on that row will update to show valid. And that little green indicator is honestly one of my favorite small details in this platform because you always know immediately if something is wrong before you send anything out. To add more recipients, just click plus Add Recipient again, and then repeat that same process for each person. You can add as many as you need. And if you need to remove someone from the list, just click the delete link in the actions column of their row, and it disappears immediately. Now, one thing worth knowing here is the Add Attribute button. If you have custom attributes set up in your credential template, like a student ID or a course score, clicking this button adds a new column to the table so that you can include that extra data for each recipient. You can then use the column header dropdown to map it to the correct attribute, or select Skip this column if you want to ignore it. This is the kind of flexibility that makes Certifier genuinely useful for more complex credentialing programs rather than just basic name and email setups. Once all of your recipients are added and every row shows valid in the status column, click the Next Preview button in the top right corner to move to step 2. This next screen is one I really appreciate, and I think it shows that Certifier actually thought about the issuing experience properly. You're now on the To Preview Before Issuing page, and this is exactly what it sounds like. Before anything gets sent, you get to see a complete preview of what the credential looks like. The preview area has 3 tabs across the top. Click Credential View to see the actual certificate design with the recipient's name filled in exactly as it will appear. This is the moment where you want to make sure everything looks right before committing. Click Credential URL to preview the public-facing credential page your recipient will see when they receive their link. That way you know exactly what their experience is going to be. And then click Email to preview the notification email that will go to the recipient, including the subject line, sender address, recipient address, and the full email body. Being able to check all 3 of these before sending is something I wish every credentialing platform did because it eliminates the kind of mistake I made early on where something looked fine in theory and then looked completely wrong in the actual email. On the right side of the screen, there is a general information panel showing a summary of the issue, the credential template name, recipient number, issue date, and expiration date. If you need to change the issue date, you can click the edit icon right next to it and adjust it right there. If you have multiple recipients in your list, the Preview For drop down at the top of the preview area lets you switch between them and check each person's credential individually before anything goes out, which is a really useful quality control step when you're issuing to a large group of people. When you're happy with everything and ready to send, click the Issue Credentials button in the top right corner. A pop-up modal will appear titled "You are about to issue a number of credentials," and it gives you two decisions to make. The first is timing. Under when do you want to issue your credentials, you can select Issue Immediately to send them right now, or Schedule Issuance for later to set a specific future date and time. The scheduling option is something a lot of people overlook, but it is really useful if you want credentials to go out right after a course completes or an event ends without you having to be online at that exact moment. The second decision is delivery. Under how would you like to deliver the credentials, you can select email credentials to recipients to automatically send each person an email with their credential link, or select don't send emails if you prefer to distribute the links yourself through another channel. Once you have made both choices, click the Issue Immediately button to confirm and complete the process. Your credentials are now on their way. And if you're not quite ready to send just yet, there is one more option worth knowing about. Instead of issuing, you can click Create Draft Credentials to save everything as drafts and come back to issue them later. Now, this is useful when you want to get everything set up in advance without actually sending anything out until the right moment. So now you know how to issue credentials, and that whole process honestly becomes second nature really fast once you've done it a couple of times. But you probably noticed that when we were setting up the credential template earlier, there was a step where we needed to attach a design and we skipped past it. That's what we're going to cover right now. We are going to create your design template, and then I want to show you the integrations page because it is genuinely one of the most impressive parts of this platform. So what exactly is a design template in Certifier? It is the visual side of your credential. While the credential template stores all of the settings and details, the design template is what your certificate or badge actually looks like. Think the colors, the layout, your logo, the fonts, where the recipient name appears. All of that lives in the design template. You create it once, and then you can attach it to as many credential templates as you like. So if you run multiple programs, but want them all to share the same visual branding, you just use the same design across all of them. To get started, go to the left sidebar and click Design Templates under the Graphic Assets section. On the Design Templates page, click the Create Design Template button at the top right corner. A small drop-down will appear with two options: Certificate Design and Badge Design. A certificate design is your rectangular printable style credential. A badge design is a more compact shaped digital badge. Think circles, hexagons, or shields. I'm going to show you both, but let's start with the certificate. Click Certificate Design from the dropdown. The design editor opens, and this is the moment where most people immediately think, this looks like Canva. And honestly, that comparison is fair. The editor feels very familiar, very intuitive. And if you've ever customized anything in Canva, you will probably feel right at home here within about 2 minutes. The canvas sits on the right and the toolbar sits on the left, and the whole thing is clean enough that it does not feel overwhelming, even on your first time going through this. At the top of the template panel on the left, you will see the two orientation tabs, Landscape and Portrait. Click either tab to browse templates in that orientation. To narrow things down, use the three filter buttons just below those tabs, Category, Style, and Color. Clicking Category opens a drop-down with options including Course, CPD, Completion, Participation, Webinar, Training, Recognition, Achievement, Application, and Employee of the Month. Clicking Style gives you Simple, Modern, Formal, and Professional. Clicking Color opens a color picker with swatches so that you can filter by palette. And these filters are useful when you have a specific look in mind and do not want to scroll through every single thing manually. When you find a template you like, click on any thumbnail from the All Results section, and it loads straight onto the canvas on the right. Now, below the orientation tabs, you will also find paper size options where you can click either A4 or US letter, depending on what you need. And if you want to set a background image for your certificate, click the Add Background Image button in the top toolbar above the canvas. Now, let me walk you through the left toolbar because this is really where all the customization happens. The 7 tools you have available are templates for browsing and switching between pre-built designs, uploads for adding your own images and logos, elements for adding shapes and graphic elements, text for adding text boxes, attributes for inserting dynamic data fields, QR codes for adding a scannable QR code to the certificate, and layers for managing the stacking order of everything on the canvas. The layers panel is one of those things that beginners often ignore, but it really becomes important once your design has a lot of elements and you need precise control over what sits on top of what. The attributes panel is one that I want to highlight specifically because it is what makes your certificate dynamic rather than static. So click attributes in the toolbar and you will see all of the available data fields grouped together by category. Under recipient, you have recipient name. Under credential, you have credential UUID, expiry date, and issue date. Under issuer, you have issuer name and issuer support email. Under group, you have group name. Click the Use button next to any attribute, and it places that field directly onto the canvas. When you issue credentials, those fields automatically fill in with the correct information for each recipient. And if you need a custom field that is not in the default list, click plus add custom attribute at the very top of the panel to create your own. Once your design is looking exactly how you want it, click the name field at the top right of the editor. It will default to something like my design number 1. Clear that out, type your preferred name, for example, Bright Future Certificate, then click the Create Design Template button at the top right to save it. A notification will appear confirming your design has been created, and the page title will update to reflect your new name. Now let me quickly show you the badge design process because it is slightly different. Go back to the Design Templates page, click Create Design Template again, and this time select Badge Design from the dropdown. The badge editor opens and you will immediately notice it looks a little different from the certificate editor. There are no orientation tabs and no paper size options because badges work on a fixed square canvas. Other than that, the experience is essentially the same. Browse the badge templates in the left panel, click any thumbnail to load it onto the canvas, and use the same toolbar to customize everything. Badge templates come in a variety of shapes, including circles, hexagons, and shields, and they are genuinely well designed. Click the name field, give your badge a name like Bright Future Badge, and click Create Design Template to save it. After saving either design, click back at the top left to return to the Design Templates page. Your newly created designs will now appear in the list, and each one shows 4 action buttons on the right. Preview to open a preview of the design, copy to duplicate it, edit to go back into the editor and make changes, and delete to remove it from your account. Now let's talk about integrations because this is one of the things that genuinely surprised me about Certifier when I first got into the platform. From the left sidebar under the Workflows section, click Integrations. The integration page loads, and the first thing you notice is how organized it is. At the top, there is a row of category filter tabs: All, Sheets, Forms, Video Conferencing, LMSs, Databases, Integration Platforms, CRMs, and Event Management. The All tab is selected by default and shows every available integration at once. Click Sheets to see spreadsheet-based integrations like Google Sheets, Microsoft Excel, and Smartsheet. Click Forms to view Google Forms, Microsoft Forms, JotForm, Typeform, SurveyMonkey, Survey Sparrow, Paperform, FormStack, and Zoho. Click Video Conferencing to see ClickMeeting, GoToWebinar, and Zoom. Click LMSs to view Kajabi, LearnDash, Talent LMS, Teachable, and Thinkific. Click Databases to see Airtable and Supabase. Click Integration Platforms to view Make, Pipedream, and Zapier. Click CRMs to see ActiveCampaign, HubSpot, and Salesforce. And click Event Management to see Eventbrite. If you're looking for something specific, use the Search Integrations field in the top right corner. Type the name of the integration, and the page filters instantly. And if you need something that is not currently listed, click the Request Custom Integration button at the top right, and a support chat widget will appear where you can submit your request directly. There is also a Get Access Token button at the top right, which takes you to the Access Tokens page under Settings, where you can generate and manage tokens for connecting Certifier to external tools or the Certifier REST API. When I first went through the integrations page, I spent more time on it than I planned to. The list is genuinely long, and it covers tools that real training providers and course creators actually use every day. Your LMS platforms like Kajabi, Teachable, and Thinkific are in there. Your CRMs like HubSpot and Salesforce are also there. Form builders like Typeform, JotForm, and Google Forms are all covered too. What I appreciate most, really, is that a lot of these are native connections, which means that you do not need a Zapier account to make them work. That matters more than people realize because Zapier adds both extra setup time and an extra monthly cost to your workflow. Certifier cutting that out for most of the major integrations is one of those practical decisions that saves you real money over time. So now that you've seen what integrations are available, the natural next question is, how do you actually put them to work? That's where automations come in, and this is honestly one of the most powerful things you can do inside of Certifier. Instead of manually uploading a CSV every single time someone completes your course or fills out a form, you set up an automation once, and then Certifier handles issuing automatically from that point on. Let me show you how it works. From the left sidebar, under the Workflows section, click Automations. On the Automations page, click the Create Automation button right there in the top right corner. A pop-up modal will appear titled Start with an Automation Template. And this is where I think Certifier really shows how well they've thought about the user experience. Instead of making you build an automation from scratch, they give you a full grid of pre-built templates organized by category. Now, at the top of the modal, you will see category tabs, all templates, sheets, forms, databases, CRMs, video conferencing, and event management. You can click any tab to filter the templates by type or stay on all templates to browse everything at once. So for this example, we're going to use one of the most useful automations on the entire platform. Click on the Issue a Credential via Certifier when a new row is added in Google Sheets template. This one is a game changer for anyone managing their recipient lists in a spreadsheet because it means that every time a new row gets added to your Google Sheet, a credential goes out automatically without you touching anything. A new pop-up modal will appear showing the details of the selected template. Click the Use Template button to proceed. The automation editor opens on a new page called New Automation, and the canvas shows two blocks connected by an arrow. The first is a trigger block set to Google Sheets with the event New Row added. The second is an action block set to Certifier with the action issue credential. Now, both blocks will show a not configured warning right now, which just means they need to be set up before the automation can run. Click on the trigger block, the Google Sheets one, to open the configured trigger panel on the right side of the screen. The Setup tab is active by default, and the app field is already pre-filled with Google Sheets. Click the Event drop-down and select New Row Added, then click the Continue button. The panel will automatically switch to the Configuration tab. Click the Account dropdown. If you've not connected a Google Sheets account yet, you will see a plus Connect New Account option in the dropdown. Click that to link your Google account. This is a one-time step, and once it's connected, you will not have to do it again for future automations. Once your account is connected and selected, additional fields will appear asking you to specify which spreadsheet and which sheet you want to use as the trigger. Once the trigger block is fully configured, close the panel and click on the action block, the Certifier one, to open the Configure Action panel. The process follows the same pattern. Work through the Setup and Configuration tabs to tell Certifier which credential template to issue and how to map the columns from your Google Sheet to the recipient fields like name and email. This mapping step is important because it is how Certifier knows which column in your spreadsheet holds the recipient name and which column holds the email address. Take a moment to get this right, and the rest runs itself. Once both blocks are fully configured and the not configured warnings are gone, click the Save and Activate button in the top right corner. Your automation is now live. From this point on, every new row added to your connected Google Sheet will trigger a credential to be issued automatically. For anyone running ongoing training programs or courses with regular new completions coming in, this single automation can save you a significant amount of time every single week. Now that you have seen how automations work, you have essentially seen the full power of what Certifier can do for your workflow. The only thing left to cover is pricing, and I want to spend proper time on this because choosing the right plan from the start will save you a lot of unnecessary upgrading and confusion. So let me walk you through everything. To get the pricing page inside of your account, go to the Settings and then click Plans from the left sidebar. The first thing you will see at the top of the page is a volume slider that lets you select your annual certificate and badge limit. The slider ranges from $250 all the way up to $50,000 plus. What I really like about this is that as you move the slider, the prices on all three plan cards update in real time. So you can immediately see what you would pay at your specific volume without having to contact sales or guess at anything. That kind of transparency, honestly, it's refreshing. And it's not something every platform in this space offers, if I'm being honest. There are three main plans, and I want to go through each one properly so that you know exactly what you're getting. The first plan is Starter, and at 1,000 credentials per year, it comes in at $42 per month, down from the regular $49. This plan covers the essential tools you need to get started. You get the ability to upload and create custom designs, bulk certificate and badge generation, mass distribution via email, LinkedIn certificates and badges, social media sharing, PDF and CSV export, API and integrations, and 5 credential templates with 3 custom attributes. For someone just launching their first credentialing program or testing whether digital certificates work for their audience, the starter plan gives you enough to do that properly without a big financial commitment. The second plan is the professional plan, and this is the one marked most popular on the page, and I think that label is accurate for most people watching this video. At 1,000 credentials per year, it comes in at $67 per month, down from $79. It includes everything in Starter and adds some features that I would consider essential for any serious credentialing operation. You get QR codes for verification and printing, expiration and certificate renewals, custom email templates and content, custom sender name and email so that your emails come from your own domain rather than certifiers, advanced credential analytics, 3 team members for collaboration, access to certifier add-ons, and 100 credential templates with 10 custom attributes. The custom sender email and the advanced analytics are the 2 things that really push most people toward this plan. The third plan is advanced at 1,000 credentials per year. It comes in at $254 per month, down from $299. This plan includes everything in professional and adds fully branded credential pages, a custom domain for credentials, a dedicated issuer portal, learning pathways, a custom verification badge, 7 team members for collaboration, user roles and access levels, custom fonts, verified issuer status, premium customer support, a customer success manager, unlimited credential templates and attributes, custom terms, SLA and DPA, and security and compliance support. This plan really is built for larger organizations, universities, and corporate teams that need full white label control and dedicated support. If you're running a serious credentialing operation at scale with multiple team members and compliance requirements, advanced is probably where you want to be. Below the 3 main plans, there are 2 optional add-ons that you can layer on top of whichever plan you choose. The first is premium branding at $42 per month, down from $49. This lets you fully customize your credential URLs, apply your brand colors to create a unified and professional look, and add your company logo and website URLs to increase your visibility. The second is verified issuer at $16 per month, down from $19, which adds verified issuer badges to each of your credentials, which increases your credentials' legitimacy, boosts trust, and helps prevent fraudulent activities. Both of these are worth considering depending on how seriously you want to invest in your credential brand. There's also an enterprise option at the bottom of the page for organizations that need something fully custom. You get a custom credential limit, custom user seats and workspaces, custom white labeling, custom integrations, advanced automations, API and integration support, a tailored implementation plan, custom terms, SLA and DPA security and compliance support, and a one-on-one customer success manager. If enterprise sounds like what your organization needs, click the book demo button to talk to their sales team. On the right side of the pricing page, you will see the order summary panel, and this is really a well-designed part of the experience. It shows your selected plan, any add-ons you've added, your credential limit, subtotal, and annual discount all in one place. There is a monthly and annual toggle at the top of the panel, and switching to annual shows you a 15% saving clearly broken out. At 1,000 credentials per year on the professional plan, with premium branding add-on, the annual total comes to $1,305.60 after a $230.40 annual discount. You will also notice have a promo code link on the order summary, which is exactly where you would apply a discount code. And at the bottom of the panel, it clearly says cancel anytime, 30-day money back, which is the kind of commitment that makes trying a paid plan a lot less risky. And honestly, look, the pricing here is pretty straightforward, and I appreciate that. Most platforms make you book a demo just to find out what you are going to pay. And Certifier, it just puts everything right there on the page. You move the slider, the prices update, you see exactly what you're getting. The 30-day money-back guarantee and the cancel anytime policy also take a lot of risk out of trying a paid plan, which I think it's the right way to do it. For most people watching this, the professional plan is probably where you're going to end up, and I think $67 a month is a fair price for what it includes. The custom email sender alone is worth it because your recipients are going to trust a credential that comes from your own domain a lot more than one that comes from a third-party address. Add the analytics on top of that, and you have a plan that actually helps you understand whether your credentialing program is working or not. Now, the free plan is also worth mentioning one more time because 250 credentials every year is enough to run a real program before you spend anything. Start there, see how your recipients engage with their credentials, and then upgrade when you are ready. That's probably the smartest way to approach it. And that's it. That's the full Certifier tutorial from start to finish. We covered everything: the dashboard, design templates, credential templates, issuing integrations, automation, and pricing. If you're ready to get started, use that link in the description below, because when you sign up through my link, you get an exclusive 10% discount on any paid plan. So go check out that link. And look, if this video helped you, please make sure to like and subscribe, because there is a lot more content like this coming. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.